And a pleasant good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of RealSportsLive.com, Real Sports Live Southwest. We're live from Laredo, Texas. Pla-Mor Family Entertainment Center is the place to be on this Thanksgiving week of school. When school's out, come over here, Pla-Mor. We got Roque Vela to my right, and we got Coach David Charles of the Laredo Martin Tigers. And they had a successful season in 5A division. Number 10 in the Region 4. They were ranked number 10 in Region 4 as we have our Gridiron Talk Playoff Edition 2018. And we're live from Pla-Mor Family Entertainment Center. The family, Roque Vela family, inviting us over. And good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
And no, thank you for having us. And if you can see behind me, that's a big screen TV. Saturday, I came by just to check it out, and you guys had football back there. And
yeah, that is a really big high def TV back there. And right now we have two different what we call farm tables.
Yeah. And
what they are is that they're old pieces of lane. It's probably about 60 years old. We got them, refurbished them, built this really nice frame. People really like to congregate right here whenever there's a big game. It's a huge building, but it seems like at times it's not quite big enough. We've had a really good response from the people of Laredo. Thank you so much for supporting our new venture, and we invite you. Like you said, it's Thanksgiving holiday week. There's going to be family from out of town.
Yep.
So bring them over here to let them see what Laredo is becoming. This new business. And I don't think anybody will be disappointed. We've had some kinks that we're working out. We opened November 1st. So a little over 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks, and every weekend has gotten better. Every weekend has gotten smoother, and the people of Laredo have been patient. So thank you so much again for your support, and looking forward to the holidays. And
the quality of life when you come to this venue, because you got rock climbing. It's a very athletic type of thing that you do, rock climbing. You got zip line. You got laser tag, a 2-story laser tag. You got the bowling alley, and then you have a private bowling alley. You got a restaurant. You have
golf simulator.
Yeah, golf simulator.
The food is amazing. The food is really good. We have a chef. The menu is unlike any other menu in Laredo. And again, when you come in here, you're not going to be disappointed with the quality of food. It's very, very good. And, of course, we also have the normal bowling alley food, hot dogs, nachos, hamburgers, kind of the quick stuff as well.
Exactly.
But if you want to come out here and you want to have a nice dinner with your significant other and let the kids have a good time, it's the best place to come and do it. You come here, you sit down, have a nice bottle of wine and a good meal with your partner, and then just let the kids run around, have a good time in the arcade, or laser tag, or rock climbing, or ropes course.
Exactly.
Or bowling.
Coach, you had a successful season. You guys went 6-5 overall, 4-2 in District 14 5A, the Division 1. Your first appearance since 2013, and it was an exciting game against San Antonio Veterans Memorial. It was a 35-33 game, just a narrow loss. But you played some pretty tough teams throughout the season to kind of get you where you were at, and we caught some of your games, your kids, along with Jose Castañeda and of course Matthew Duron, your stud quarterback. But what did you talk to the kids after the game, Coach, and what was the message that you sent?
It was a very special season this year. We had a great group of kids that really enjoyed playing football, and pretty much the mission that we were on this year as a football team is just to go out and prove to the community the great things that the west side of Laredo has. We have some tremendous kids with George Castañeda, Jose Castañeda, Matt Duron, Caesar, all our offensive line. We have some tremendous kids that really worked hard their last 4 years to get to this point. Matthew Duron was a 4-year starter for us. His freshman year, we were 1 game away from the playoffs. His junior year, we were 1 game out of the playoffs. And then for his senior year, to get together with the rest of the seniors to get us into the playoffs, what was a special thing that they're going to remember for a long time. After the game on Friday, we went into the game this week talking to the kids about how at this point of the year, it's about the players making plays and not necessarily the plays that we call. And I'll tell you one thing, for those that were there at the game, It was a tremendous game. Ducky had some tremendous catches. Matt had some great throws. Defensively, we had some tremendous plays, interceptions, good returns. It was a good, fun high school football game, and unfortunately, we came 2 points short.
Yeah, but when we saw you throughout the season, we actually covered you against Harlan. We covered a game against Alexander, and we'll go to the from 3 yards out.
Playing in a playoff game on the road, to be together with your football player or your football teammates, to be together with your coaches. One of the best things that I saw on Saturday night in San Antonio was that we had a bigger crowd than they did, and it was their home stadium. Our banners were up, our flags were flying. The spirit in the crowd was tremendous, and I was extremely proud of the Martin community for going out there and supporting us. But after the game finished, I told the guys, "Hey, stop and enjoy it." It's real hard to try to pinpoint 6 years of work that they put into it ever since 7th grade, and it all comes down to maybe 2 plays here, a play there, and if you sit there and you kind of worry about that, it'll drive you crazy. But I told our seniors, enjoy it. They are only, and this is a cool little history, is that there's only been 6 playoff teams in the 83 years of Martin High School football. And I told our boys to be part of that 6 right there is a tremendous honor. And to go out on the road and to put on a show like that, of course, you want to win, but to see the response that our kids had at halftime, down 13 to 28, everything was going against us. Our boys had that look on their face. They didn't know which way to react or how to react. And they did a good job of responding. The seniors did a good job of calming everybody down in the locker room. We came out. We knew we were going to get the ball. I said, all right, we got to score here, just get a stop on defense. In the second half, our defense had 4 straight 3-and-outs that they forced, which was, tremendous against that offense. They had a lot of weapons. And offensively, Matt and Ducky and the rest of the kids started making plays. Offensive line started blocking well. Our running back started running. Our other receivers, Juan Lara, started making some good catches, and it was a fun game to be part of. And unfortunately, we came up short though. But it's definitely something that these kids could hold their heads up high and be proud about. Yeah,
and throughout the season, you guys were shorthanded at points, but you saw the adversity of all the other players that were in the depth chart as far as coming up and doing what they had to do to contribute to the team. When Duron went down early in the season, you wanted to make sure that he got healthy, but everybody else stepped up. Castañeda and a lot of your other players stepped up, taking those leadership roles, Coach. That, to me, has a testament to the coaching staff and what you're teaching and what your core values of what Martin football is all about, Coach.
We try to tell all our kids that everybody has a very important role in our football team. And I joke with them all the time, though. I'm like, hey, you got to earn your hamburger around here. But, you know, the last game of the year against Harlan, our ace kicker, who's probably one of the better kickers in South Texas, you know, got hurt. So he didn't play in the playoff game.
Okay.
So our JV kicker comes up and goes 6 of 7 in extra points. I'm sorry,
5 of 7.
No. So, we scored 5 times.
Yes.
So he made 3. We went for it on 2. Missed the field goal, but you know, he did good on kickoffs. And for him to step up from the JV team and go in there and do what we expected him to do or asked him to do was good, because that kind of atmosphere there, the pressure was really on, and he felt it. But he did a good job of responding. And you know, it's the next man attitude that we've always had all year long, because you know, Matt goes down, our kicker goes down, and we've had injuries left and right. But all of our backups did a tremendous job this year of being prepared both mentally and physically to go in there and get the job done without trying to miss a beat.
There you go. Now you actually were at the Haverbow, the very first game of the season, Nixon against Martin. That one was also an exciting game, Coach, because you're an alumni from Nixon,
yes.
Nixon High School. Of course, David Charles is a alumni of Eagle Pass High School. Eagle Pass on to the second round as they went down to Far San Juan this past Friday night and took an overtime win, 34-28, an exciting game. That one was broadcasted on our YouTube channel, Real Sports Live, via PSJA ISD. Also, thank you for helping us out. It's just one of those things, guys. As we look into the future and what the sporting events and families and of course moms, dads, grandma, grandpa, tios and tias, everybody has one of these nowadays, the smartphones. So it's very, very, very easy to have them watch a game, and especially a high school football game, a varsity high school football game. I know back then when we were, it was a radio station and that's it. Right? Am I right? I mean, it was just a local radio station. That's it. Now they get to watch it. Also, it's very good for kids that are getting recruited or being able to showcase. And recruiters nowadays go online and find ways to find the next best thing, running back, receiver, whatever it is. I know your son plays at United. He had a big game. He actually came up with a big interception to help United, and that was a close game also here at home.
That game got really interesting there towards the end, and my son came up with a really big play to essentially clinch the game there towards the end. So proud of him and looking forward to next weekend.
I know we're going to pay some bills real quick, but we'll be back. Thank you, Coach Charles. Congratulations on a great season. And hoping that we can do more of these here in Laredo. I know we already have a spot reserved for us here at Pla-Mor Family Entertainment Center, just off of Bob Bullock Loop 20. Make sure you guys look it up. It is the address is
2819 Bob Bullock Loop. We're on the corner of Havana and Loop 20. And
then you can also call this number if you want to reserve a party.
Right now, Facebook is really the best way to reach us.
Okay.
We had a soft opening, as you know, so our phone lines still aren't up. But luckily, it's 2018, so that doesn't handicap us like it probably would in the past. But you can go to our Facebook page, Pla-Mor, and get any information. Reach out to us, inbox us. If you're interested in a party package, we'll respond. We also have a website address as well.
And what's that website?
Pla-Mor.
Pla-Mor, www.pla-mor.com?
Pla-Mor Laredo, actually.
Pla-MorLaredo.com. So all those venues or all those avenues, those are the avenues that you can take to make sure you get into this great facility. It's beautiful. I mean, you got everything here. I would bring my kids. My kids are older, but they'll still have fun here with Dad. So we'll be back with more after this. You're watching RealSportsLive.com, Real Sports Live Southwest.
Hello, Eagle Pass and surrounding areas. My name is Grant Beer. I'm the general manager of Ram Country Autoworld. We have the largest selection of pre-owned inventory. Come by and see us at 1997 Veterans Boulevard, where we make sure our customers are number one.
Stat Emergency Center is here to offer emergency services any day of the week and around the clock. We know that our patients deserve better than the typical cramped waiting areas and long lines. Get the care you deserve. Get treated, not seated.
Hey guys, Eddie Sanchez, owner of Kumo Fitness, located at 575 Commercial Street in downtown Eagle Pass. We invite you guys to come join us. We got equipment for everything from machines to free weights to bumpers. You name it, we got it. Come check us out, guys. Hey guys, welcome to Kumo Supplements and Lifestyle. My name is Eddie Sanchez, I'm the owner, and I invite you guys to come and join us any day of the week, Monday through Sunday, here at Mall de las Águilas.
Really got it, really got it, really got it, really got it, yeah. Really got it, 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 really got it.
Hi, this is Roque Vela Jr., owner, operator of Jett North. And on behalf of my family and Jett North staff, I'd like to wish every student athlete a safe and successful year. Hi, this is Roque Vela Jr., owner, operator of Pla-Mor Family Entertainment. And on behalf of my family and Pla-Mor Family Entertainment staff, I'd like to wish every student athlete a safe and successful year.
And we're back live, realsportslive.com, Real Sports Live Southwest. We're with the athletic director, Bobby Cruz of United ISD. Good afternoon. How are we doing today?
Good, Fred. How are you doing? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing great, and thanks for coming by. I know we also invited Ms. Barrera, and she's out on some business stuff. So
No, she's at the Spurs game.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm just playing. I don't know.
We actually had Alexander here at home, and we have some of the highlights.
It kind of tells you, hey, go
That's not
That'd
a
be
problem.
awesome to stream it here,
right?
absolutely,
They're streaming it, and people can watch it as they're bowling and take in a high school football game.
That would be cool, yeah.
So now, as an athletic director, of course, you got basketball now going on at the same time with football, and you got other things that are coming up. But as the AD at UISD, you take on a lot of hats, and you make sure that you're always on top of every UIL change and whatnot. I know that for the most part, the UISD teams for football take on spring practice, right? What's your take on spring practice and alleviating that 2-a-day? A week before or 2 weeks before the because again they have, as I looked at the schedules this year, I mean they have their non-district schedules. Alexander United, United South, even LBJ, they all have non-district schedules that are just
right.
I mean they're playing tough teams.
Playing tough teams. You know, I leave it up to the coaches, to each coordinator at the campus to decide what is best for their program, for their team, for their kids. You know, if they feel like a lot of their kids can benefit from a spring ball, and they have a good number of them, then that's when they'll do it. And you know, some programs, usually at smaller schools, when they have a lot of kids in track, or a lot of kids in baseball, a lot of kids in, they'll forego it and they'll wait till they can have all their kids. You know, we've been blessed to where we've got good numbers, and our coaches feel comfortable having that spring ball, and they also do it, you know, a little bit to get into 7-on-7. Yeah, you start going into spring ball, get into 7-on-7, and you have that whole that whole summer. And then it gets you into summer ball when you get here. Yeah, and spring ball and 7-on-7 is big here because you also have the 3 LISD schools and you have the 4 UISD schools. So primarily, you guys have one big league down here, right? If I'm not mistaken, which I would prefer just coming down here and playing some 7-on-7 up here, bringing some of those kids. But Coach, the other big thing is you also have basketball that has united, and congratulations to of course volleyball. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're real proud of our volleyball programs. All 4 volleyball programs were in the playoffs. You know, United Alexander were the co-champions. LBJ was 3rd. United South was 4th. LBJ making the playoffs. Yes, exactly. After the LBJ made the playoffs for the second time in school history. Yes, and United South made the playoffs for the first time in about 16 years. Yeah, that's what I. And so real proud of them. And then Alexander, United ended up going the furthest at the Sweet 16. Yeah, bowed out to Clark in a tough, real competitive matches. Just, you know, our ladies are doing well, our coaches are doing well, and it's a testament to them and the hard work, and all of the coaches really at the middle school also that prep our kids. They put a lot of time and effort, and they invest in our kids, and they know the importance of middle school athletics and to feed into the high school. Into the high schools. Now, are you going to have the same auto arena packed again for the basketball? You know, you're going to hear it here first. You're going to hear it here first. Okay. There's a possibility that we may not play there this year because the Bucks are back. Okay, the Laredo Bucks are back. The Bucks are back, and we may have some dates conflicting there, so we might have to push these games back to the campus depending on what the schedule for the Bucks looks like. But we're not sure yet. Tentatively, we're scheduled to play basketball games there at Sames, but who knows? I mean, I'll let you know if we need to change it. Because that was for us, for Real Sports Live and Joe Bowling and myself, that's where we got the taste of what it is. Rivals, United South, LBJ, and Alexander United. Those games were you know, it's funny you say that because it's a great venue, it's a great place, but lately our community and our coaches and have been asking to go back to the campus. Back to the campus. They want that, you know, they want that closed, you know, where the fans are on top of you. They want that Cameron Indoor Stadium like at Duke, you know, and they want that craziness again. Yeah. And sometimes, you know, you don't get that at the Sames Arena. The Sames Arena. But originally when we first started playing there, our original thought was, you know, we need to play in a venue like that because that's where you're going to play at the regional. Exactly. You're going to play in a big venue at a regional. And so I'm glad we play there. I think it gives our kids the experience of playing in a big arena. And it suits us. You know, we don't have to worry about selling it out. We don't have to worry about turning people away, which we always do at the campuses. Yeah, and just a quick tidbit to pass along. The Bulldogs were unbeaten in the La Jolla tournament.
Yeah, Bulldogs are doing well with Coach Valdez, and I know they graduated Marco Peña, who was scoring.
Who was a phenomenal. He was scoring about 38 points. He was averaging 38 points last year.
Yeah, so you have to fill that void, and then United's just always Archie always has them doing well. Carmelo at United South does a great job, and Coach Ojeda at LBJ does a really good job with LBJ, and I look for them to be in the mix this year.
Well, Fordo Villarreal was just a junior last year, and he was in the mix with in the Alexander rotation, but he was hurt early in the year last year. Yeah. But he came back late and helped in that run, in that playoff run also. For United, of course, they have Pampa back, Andy Pampa. And
we can't forget about the girls too. The girls basketball. We've got 2 new coaches. Frank Gonzalez over at United.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Frank is taking over the United program, and Ivan Medellin is taking over the Alexander program. Of course, Gilbert Cardenas retired and went into administration, and so we're looking for big things this year. It's all the basketball district's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it is.
The boys, you throw Nixon in the mix. Coach Solis does a great job with his program, and so it's going to be really, 5 or 6 really great teams.
That are coming.
I'll tell you what, there's going to be 1 or 2 20-game winners that are not going to be in the playoffs.
They're not going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's how tough the boys and girls district is.
And of course, over at United, they got Trevino, Natalie Trevino.
Absolutely, yeah,
she's phenomenal.
Yes.
She's a one-girl show over there. She actually dropped some points over at the tournament in San Antonio. I think they were in San Antonio. Yes. Thank you again. Gridiron Talk. Yeah, we went from Gridiron Talk, from talking football to talking basketball. But
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, but when you're with Bobby Cruz and the AD for UISD, you talk about everything. And of course, you guys had your golf tournament as far as the UISD.
That was really nice. Appreciate your sponsorship and your help. Yeah, we had our Partners for Scholars golf tournament, and every penny that we raise, it doesn't go to the athletic program. It goes right to our scholarship fund. And, every year we raise at least $60,000-$65,000 every year. This is the 4th year we do it. And so our goal is to give out $1,000 scholarships to graduating seniors.
There you go.
And so we're real proud of that. This is our 4th year. Looking forward to next year.
Yeah, and I am part of anything that you do. You can always count on Freddie, and of course Joe Bowling. Real Sports Live we cover the Rio Grande Valley. We cover the Laredo, Eagle Pass, Del Rio, South San Antonio.
All over the place.
Yeah, we're all over the place. Yeah. Excuse me. But we're gonna pay some bills, and we'll be back with more after this. You're watching RealSportsLive.com, Gridiron Talk Show.
Testing and evaluations quickly without the delays of a traditional emergency room. We utilize the full services of a standard ER department, including CT scan, bedside emergency ultrasound, x-rays, and a full clinical laboratory, with a focus on getting you taken care of without long wait times. STAT Emergency Center is here to offer emergency services any day of the week and around the clock. Get the care you deserve. Get treated, not seated.
Battling to be crowned champions. Get your tickets now for the UIL State Championships. Be a part of this Texas tradition. Log on to SeatGeek.com. Download the free Fox Sports Southwest Football Friday app. Get live high school scores from across the state. Check out team schedules and show your school spirit live online. Download the best high school football app in Texas. Search Football Friday.
Truck Techs in Harlingen is your source for lifts, wheels, and tires. Talking trucks of any size, any model, and any year. Specializing in accessories with top-of-the-line products to bring that special look to your truck in a professional way. Lifts, wheels, and tires, with financing available too. Call today or stop by Truck Techs in Harlingen.
Our professional advisors at Employee Retirement Service have been providing financial and retirement planning for many years for employees of different employment.
To help fulfill your retirement needs, come experience the difference with us.
And let's plan your retirement together. Call us at 956-440-8774 to schedule your appointment today.
Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles is your source for vintage, antique, collectibles, vinyl records, and more. Located at 206 East Jackson in historic downtown Harlingen, it's Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles. It's a step back in time with a soundtrack like none other. Open Monday through Saturday, filled with memories and more. Forever Memories is for you.
And we're back live to a playoff edition of Gridiron Talk 2018. We're with Coach Sanchez. David Sanchez of the United Longhorns.
The great Coach Sanchez.
The great Coach Sanchez, yes. The great Coach Sanchez, United High School, as we are in week 2 by district champions as they beat the Mission Eagles 31-28. Because that was kind of close to call.
It got interesting.
It got very interesting.
Too close for comfort, that's for sure.
Coach wanted to give the people in the stands their money's worth.
There you go.
Yeah, we thought we had the game under control. All of a sudden, Mission
side. Quick out to number.
Enough glory to go around for everybody, and it's got to be a team concept and a team issue to be successful. And you know, our kids bought into it, and we've had great leadership by our seniors, and you know, it's been a really fun group to coach, and just really proud of what they've been able to do this year.
Yeah, Jerry Gonzalez, of course, rushed for 165 and 2 touchdowns and rushed it 24 times. But it starts with your run game, Coach. When Jerry has good games and Weil has time, Huerta to do what he does and to find Murillo and the slew of receivers that you have, of course your defense is not any slouch. I mean, you guys have played some pretty good teams, from Vela to San Marcos to
Animal Heights.
And then the I think the last San Benito, exactly. So you're playing out of those 4, all 4 were in the playoffs a year ago. They were you're playing playoff caliber teams in the non-district season. So,
well, I always believe if you want to beat the best, you got to play the best. And our kids have enjoyed that, and we enjoy that atmosphere and that pressure of having to prepare and get yourselves ready for a great football game. And we were fortunate this year; we were able to win 2 of those 3, and we lost one that I thought we should have won, and. But we're just really, really proud of our kids.
There you go, Coach. And a big defensive stance. You needed a big play, and Vela, number 30, took care of that interception to kind of seal the deal for you guys also.
Well, extremely proud of him and the way he stepped in there and played in some key situations. And, he's probably one of the most confident kids we have, and I think he weighs about 120 pounds. And, but that young man just believes in himself and in his ability and just plays with a lot of confidence. I think he was talking trash to that kid the play before and telling him, because they tried to throw a fade on him and he had it covered. And, he comes up with a big play for us.
And he's only a sophomore, so you're going to have him for 2 more years. And again, when you have kids that play at a high level early on in the program, it develops them for, of course, their junior and senior year. Is that not right, Coach?
Well, that's definitely right. Anytime a young, freshman, sophomore steps in there early, take Murillo, for example, played a little bit as a freshman, became a starter for us as a sophomore, and he's had a great year, a great career there for us, and he's one of our big time players. So yeah, getting that early experience and that early playing time is definitely huge.
Yeah, and you quoted that was a big interception by Vela. You were able to go and went back up by 10. So it made it super. It was a super play at the end of that 4th and 13 to score the last touchdown. So, and this is all from the Laredo Morning Times and Jason Mack, as he talked to you before or after that game. Coach, coming up next, you guys were a second half team all season long. You outscored your opponents in the second half, and I was there for that game against Eagle Pass. It was deja vu all over again. Like you said, it was deja vu with San Marcos. It was deja vu with Eagle Pass, and you guys in the third play, you guys get a big play and go up 23-20, and then the wheels come off, and you guys just keep rolling, and took that game 36-20, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the final. But you guys move on. You guys are at Ferris Stadium. It was at 7:00. We just got indicated by the UISD athletic director Bobby Cruz that it's going to be at 3:00 kickoff. Am I right?
Yes, sir. 3:00 at Ferris Field, Friday night or Friday afternoon.
Friday afternoon.
Should be a beautiful day, and it's not you can't get a better atmosphere than an afternoon game with beautiful weather and two teams going at each other. With the records that we have, I think Weslaco is 9-10-1
and 5-1 in District 31 6A.
So they bring a great football team. Obviously, they'll have their teams ready to play. I think we've played them 4 times in the second round, and we've been able to win those games. So, they'll be really gunning for us and trying to stop that streak we have going against them.
Yeah, they beat Harlingen 25-14. You got 2 powerhouse district champions going at each other on Friday night. Friday afternoon at Ferris Stadium in San Antonio, 1604, right off of 1604, right at the O'Connor area. Coach, what did you talk to the kids about after the game, and what's the message this week? Because it's a kind of a short week, Coach, with Thanksgiving. With Thanksgiving coming up on Thursday, and then getting prepared, because usually on Thursdays is your walkthrough days, it's your light days. But now with that kind of, what do you talk and what's the message throughout the week, Coach?
Well, it kind of set up real nice. As a coach, I was kind of disappointed in the way we played there at the end of the game or the second half, and you could sense that from our kids also. We want to buy district championship, and you think they'd be, really fired up and excited, and they were, but they were also disappointed in the way that we played the second half, and so it gave us a chance to make them understand that, hey, everybody's gunning for us. You get into playoffs, everybody's going to bring you their best game, and so we had a great practice this morning. The enthusiasm was high and the effort was high, and I think our kids will be ready to play a better game this Friday. Yeah,
Coach, and as far as Huerta's concerned, he was 14 of 25 for 158 yards, 2 touchdowns. Sanchez was his top target with 6 catches, and then Murillo with 5. But you have a plethora of receivers that any one of those receivers can go off at any point in the game, or in the game, Coach. And what is, for your receivers, Coach, what is the thing that he talks to them about, and what do you talk to your receivers about as far as staying within themselves and running their routes, crisp routes?
Obviously, it's something that we preach to our kids, and yes, we've had different receivers go off in different games at different times, and it's a matter of the passing game. They got to understand their role and the importance of their route, and you never know who's going to get the ball. It kind of just depends on Wyo's reads and what they give us. We kind of run an option type passing game, and we try to put a couple of people in a certain area and just read whoever our key is, whether it be the outside linebacker, the corner, or the safety, and see which one he takes and try to go to the other one. So they know that they have to run good routes, and that their route is just important as the guy next to him, and it's just a matter of who they leave open, and while making a good decision and getting the ball to whoever that person is.
Yeah, as successful as your program has been, Coach, and year after year you've been in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs. It's not even one round and done. You're deep 2, 3, 4 rounds deep in the playoffs. But what is it about this year's class that you have of seniors and the message? Because again, even when I saw you at the beginning of the year against Vela, and Vela's been one of the better teams in our region, in Region 4, the past 4 or 5 years. But you guys went into that game, but you also did something early on in the season that, in a program like that, you went to your backup quarterback and you gave the backup quarterback a starting against Alamo Heights. What does that tell your program when you do that? When you go to the number 2 quarterback and say, here's the ball.
Sophomore.
Yeah, sophomore, exactly.
Well, obviously, it sends a message that it doesn't matter who you are or what grade you're in. We're going to give the opportunity to anybody that deserves it. And at that point in time, that sophomore quarterback went in against Vela and had a great second half. And I thought he earned the right to give him a start. And I think Wyo went in the next game, the second half, and lit it up. And he got the message that he needs to be focused, he needs to be ready to play, and he needs to make good decisions. And he did that and earned his starting spot back. And he was a 10-game starter as a sophomore.
Exactly.
So, it just makes it more competitive, and kids know that they got to show up to practice every day and be focused and do a great job of preparing themselves.
So, have you had any talks with Coach Detmer over at Westlaco?
Yeah, we did, and obviously he's a very knowledgeable coach, and he's done a great job of turning that program around, and he's been there. This was his 3rd year, and he's excited about their future over there, and that was a freshman quarterback that quarterbacked that team, and he came up big for him, made some big plays. So he's excited about what's going on over there. But obviously, it was fun to beat him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very successful, quarterback in college, played in the pros, and is coached under his dad at
Somerset
for a few years, and branched out, and very knowledgeable person. And it's obviously a challenge for us to go in there and make sure that we came out with a win.
There you go. Knowing that you have your son on the team and Coach Sanchez, of course you're a spectator. You want to make sure that the team does well, but knowing the fact that you were a Nixon alum and now he's going to be a United alum, is there a separation there at home as far as or?
I mean, I played for Coach Sanchez. That tells you
kind of giving away my age
how long he's been around. Coach Sanchez's first year as a head coach was my junior year at Nixon, and we were really, really bad when he got there. My freshman and sophomore year, we went 1-9, and honestly, we were lucky to win those 2 games over those 2 years. And then he got there as my junior year, started the process of turning around Nixon. I think we went 4-5. That was the year that we didn't play Martin for reasons. And then my senior year, we were city champs, went 7-3. And that's really what sprung Nixon to the dominance that they had for, I guess it was a decade.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I stay out of, I know Coach knows what he's doing. I know he's a great coach, obviously playing for him and seeing the success that he's had. I don't stick my nose in there at all. I'll go to a practice every now and again, and when my son asks me for my opinion, which is very rarely because he thinks I don't know anything about football, which he might be right. So I'll when he has a difficult game or there's something that I see that I point out, making sure that he keeps outside leverage, or he had a tough game against San Marcos there, so I give him a little bit of a pet talk. And as a defensive back and as a competitor, there's always going to be times that you fall short and you feel like you let your teammates down, but it's about getting back up and dusting yourself off. Especially as a defensive back, you have to have a short memory. So to answer your question, I stay out of it. My son is a great competitor. He's a great athlete, and I just let him do his thing and let Coach do his job of coaching him.
There you go. So we'll be back with more from Pla-Mor Family Entertainment Center. It's located off of Loop 20. The actual address is
2819 Loop, Bob Bullock Loop. We're on the corner of Havana and Loop 20.
And don't forget, guys, they have everything for everybody. For an adult, you can stand right here where we're at or sit in these comfortable. I didn't actually sit. I like standing up, but they got a high-def screen back behind me. They got screens all over the place. They got a nice restaurant with a chef. They got a 2-story laser tag. They have rope course. They have zip line. They have a rock climbing and arcade galore plus bowling. What more do you want? Everything is here. It's a Pla-Mor Family Entertainment Center. Make sure you guys come by during the holidays. As if you have family coming into Laredo, well, guess what? Tell them this is the place to be. Pla-Mor.
Big game tonight with the Chiefs and the Rams as well. It's going to be exciting. So come on over here, eat some wings, and try our food. Our food's amazing, and watch it on this big screen.
Watch it on big screen back behind me. So we'll be back with more after this. You're watching Gridiron Talk from Pla-Mor Family Entertainment. RealSportsLive.com. Real Sports Live Southwest.
Friday savings start now at Clark Chevrolet in downtown McAllen.
There's never been a better time to buy at Clark Chevrolet.
Save over $7,000 off new Equinoxes or buy the new Trax for $16,988.
We guarantee the best customer buying experience you've ever had.
Since 1933,
we're a family.
At First Community Bank, our bankers put you first.
Like Mark in McAllen and Kim in Harlingen.
Make FCB your bank.
And discover first-class service on a first-name basis.
First Community Bank.
Involved in a car accident? Let us help you. Zambrano Law Firm.
And we're back live, realsportslive.com, Real Sports Live Southwest. We have Coach Tom Gonzalez via our Ram Country Autoworld phone line. Make sure you guys go by 1997 North Veterans Boulevard in Eagle Pass, Texas. Go talk to Grant Bibb. Coach Tom Gonzalez of the Eagle Pass Eagles traveled to Far San Juan and beat the Bears, coming back with an overtime win, 34-28, to go on and move on to the second round. Coach, good morning, and how you doing today?
Good, Fred. How you doing? Thanks for having us.
I'm doing great, Coach. I'm doing wonderful as we're live from Pla-Mor Family Entertainment Center in Laredo, Texas. We're doing a Gridiron Talk Show 2018 playoff edition, and of course, the Eagle Pass Eagles are part of this playoff edition show, and we had to get you on the phone line because I know that you guys had practice this morning and took care of business to get ready for round two as you traveled to San Antonio, Texas, UIW. We confirmed 3 o'clock is the start for the game, and you will be playing who, Coach?
We're playing Brownsville Hannah.
Brownsville Hannah, and Brownsville Hannah, of course, district champion in their district. I believe it was District 31 6A, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. There's another district champion.
Yeah.
We just playing district champion, the Upper Valley. Now we're playing the Lower Valley.
There you go. So you took care of the district champion in District 32 6A, if I'm not mistaken, or 36A. And now you got another tough task. Eagles versus Eagles as Brownsville Hannah. Coach, I know we talked to you after the game, and we got your interview after the game. I will have that later for our fans that are listening to this Gridiron Talk Show. But Coach, what was the main message after the game, Coach, to the kids? And I know that you were on the field talking to them on the field. What was that message to them after that game, Coach?
Well, it was to stay hungry. I mean, our kids played hard. They earned that victory. You know, we played a very tough PSJA team, and we knew we were in a battle, and it was just, you know, let's keep rolling. Let's keep playing the way we're doing. Don't change anything. Let's just keep stay hungry.
Coach, the defense did well. The offense moved the ball, and you got a big play, 72-yard touchdown catch and run. It was yards after the catch as David Lopez, number 13, took it to the house down the sideline on the our visitor side sideline after a big block from your senior Ray Mendoza also did his job.
Right.
How big is it? Of course, he's only a junior. How big is it to have these type of games when Ray, of course, had his 2 touchdowns? Castillon had his touches also. But when you have that extra 3rd and 4th receiver coming in and putting in some work and getting you that those unexpected, or not the unexpected, but the extra touches and extra touchdowns, how big is that, Coach?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, we expect our kids to do their job, and if they're playing, it's because we have all the confidence in the world in these guys, and we know what they can do when they're out there on the field. David just did what we know he can do, and along with Ray and all those other guys, I mean, they're just playing at a top level right now, and we're excited about the next round.
Coach, of course, the defense did its job. Trey Guajardo still lit up. I mean, he still threw for, you know, a little over 200-300 yards. But you guys sacked him about 10 times, if I'm not mistaken. And then you had some turnovers. Also, you had him rushed. He looked at the end of the game, towards the end of the game, he looked gassed because the defensive line of Manny Rodriguez, Moy Rocha, Charlie Schisler, to name a few, were all over him.
Yeah, our guys played hard. I mean, again, he's one of the best quarterbacks next to the quarterbacks in our district that we faced all year, and you know, we knew he was going to be tough, and like you said, we had 10 sacks on him. I don't think he's been sacked that much all year, and our front line, they're pretty quick, and they played fast that night.
Yeah, they play fast and quick, and also your linebackers did their job also with David Kiporos and Roger Ulloa, and then your defensive backs and your corners also played the receivers very well. Yeah, there were some misassignments here and there, but when it needed to be done, they got done, and they came up big in the overtime period where they stopped a couple of those. I think it was a second and third down passes where they got into the mix, and of course the fourth down, fourth and 10, it was behind the receiver, and that's how the game finished.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, sir.
I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I interjected. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I mean, we have a very talented secondary. Our linebackers are very athletic, and you can see it on the field. I mean, they're running all over the place.
Yeah, they go from sideline to sideline, and not an inch of that field is not covered by all these guys. Even your safeties can also come up and be run stoppers, such as Molleda and Josh Monsivais, and a great job by also on the corner by Leckler. Leckler, for some reason, gets picked on game in and game out, and he comes up with those big plays sometimes where they do these slip routes where they're coming in that three receiver set, and he manages to get into and get the guy in the back.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, you look at Raul Leckler, and he's like 5 foot tall and weighs about 100 pounds. So, everyone sees him real little and they're going to pick on him. But he plays with a, he plays like he's 6'5", 280.
There you go. Coach, the big thing, too, is now you have your 3 running backs healthy, Coach. You have, of course, your freshman, Hernandez, and then you have a great running back in Saul Perales who comes in. I call this trio of running backs with Jay Herrera. You got of course Mr. Finesse and Hernandez, and then you got your ground and pound in Saul Perales, and then you got your finisher in Jay Herrera. And the reason I say that is because of course Jose Hernandez, he's hard to bring down. He's tall, he's lanky, but he makes people miss. With Perales, he's going straight at you. He's going to pound you to make it hurt. So next time you're going to go and try and tackle him, you think twice. And then you got Jay Herrera, who just finishes runs, and he's one of those guys just goes straight forward and finishes. You tell him, hey, it's going to be to this hole. He goes through and he does his job.
Right, and those 3 guys, you said it. You nailed it. I mean, Jose Herrera is our finesse guy, and Saul and Jay, they get after you. It's good to have 3 guys because if one's off, you just put somebody else in, and he takes over, and that's what's been happening all year.
Yeah, and so now we set up for of course, congratulations on a great successful season thus far. You have a by-district championship under your belt, and you move forward to the second round. The second round, Brownsville Honda. Again, another team that also you look at paper and they're people say they're a much better team. They got a quarterback, they got a running back, they got some receivers that can do some work. But once you see, and you're a defensive-minded coach, just like your brother said, Rudy Gonzalez, who we had on our Alexander game this past Saturday, and we want to thank him for making that trip from the Valley to be our color commentator, and we had fun that day. But you guys are defensive-minded coaches, and you want to, and it's like I told him, it's a cliche, but it's a true cliche. Defense wins championships, offense sells tickets.
Yeah, that's true. And the offense, they get their name in the paper. Our defense gets their name in the paper by calling them in one bunch, the land shark defense, But they do a good job.
Yeah, they do. They do a great job. Coach, congratulations again as you get ready. How is this short week? I know Thursday is Thanksgiving and stuff like that. So how do you prepare for this short week getting into Friday's game? Also an early start. I know last year you had an early start. It was a 2 o'clock game, if I'm not mistaken, as you played Vela in the second round. Now Vela is on a different bracket, and they play in Roma against Alexander in week 2.
Right, and our approach to the week is the same as we've been doing all year, you know, and the way it was last week. We practice Monday through Wednesday, and on Thursday we're going to walk through on Thanksgiving Day, and really it's a great feeling. You know, a lot of people wish they were in that boat that we are in, but it's one of those where you want to practice on Thanksgiving Day, you know, even if it's for an hour or whatever.
There you go. That's it, Coach. Past Thanksgiving is also a go as we get set for the game. We're working tirelessly to make sure that we get this game broadcasted live through our YouTube channel. We've already talked to Fox Sports and set up the rights. So all we got to do is make sure that our advertising comes through and they say we want to be a part of Eagles football, playoffs 2018, Texas high school football. Thank you, Coach, for joining us on the Ram Country Autoworld phone line. Make sure you guys go 1997 North Veterans Boulevard in Eagle Pass, Texas, or call them at 830-872-3444. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel right now, make sure you guys subscribe to get notifications. And also, as you can see behind me, there's a big high definition at Pla-Mor Family Entertainment Center. Coach, you are welcome to come to Pla-Mor. I've already have a reserved seat for you at the restaurant. It's a beautiful facility. As Roque Vela says, yeah, you can invite Coach anytime.
Yeah, I'll be there, definitely. It looks like a great place. Thank you for having us. Thank you for sponsoring it.
There you go. So, Coach, again, thank you very much. And we're going to go to a quick break because we still have a couple of more coaches here waiting on us. And thank you again for joining us on this week's Gridiron Talk Show, as we're not going to have one in Eagle Pass. We had one already, so you're already on. You already did your job. You already gave the fans what they wanted. So don't forget, Coach, it's going to be at UIW. It's at the Tom Benson Stadium, right, Coach?
Right, exactly, at 3 o'clock.
At 3 o'clock in San Antonio, Texas. For all of you that make sure you drive up there on a Friday. If you can't drive up there, if you want to stay home, well, guess what? We're going to have it live on realsportslive.com, Real Sports Live Southwest, and, of course, our YouTube channel, as last week's game was a tremendous game. I know we had close to 7,000 people view that game, Coach. So,
wow.
And more want to just go watch the end of that game, the overtime, the overtime of that game. For once, I got to be a fan, Coach. I was up in the stands and I got to feel what it is to be a fan and not up in the press box and do my job. So it was a great feeling to be a part of that atmosphere.
No, it was great. I mean, I'm glad you followed us. You always follow us, Fred. You do a good job, and thank you for everything you do for our youth, man. It's awesome.
Thank you, Coach. And again, that's Coach Tom Gonzalez of the Eagle Pass Eagles. We'll be back with more after this. You're watching RealSportsLive.com 2018 Gridiron Talk Playoff Edition from Pla-Mor Family Entertainment Center.
Hello, Eagle Pass and surrounding areas. My name is Grant Bear. I'm the general manager of Ram Country Autoworld. We have the largest selection of pre-owned inventory. Come by and see us at 1997 Veterans Boulevard, where we make sure our customers are number one.
Stat Emergency Center is here to offer emergency services any day of the week and around the clock. We know that our patients deserve better than the typical cramped waiting areas and long lines. Get the care you deserve. Get treated, not seated.
Hey guys, Eddie Sanchez, owner of Kumo Fitness, located at 575 Commercial Street in downtown Eagle Pass. We invite you guys to come join us. We got equipment for everything from machines to free weights to bumpers. You name it, we got it. Come check us out, guys. Hey guys, welcome to Kumo Supplements and Lifestyle. My name is Eddie Sanchez. I'm the owner, and I invite you guys to come and join us any day of the week, Monday through Sunday, here at Mall de las Águilas.
Really got it, really got it, really got it, really got it, yeah. Really got it, 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 really got it.
Hi, this is Roque Vela Jr., owner, operator of Jett North. And on behalf of my family and Jett North staff, I'd like to wish every student athlete a safe and successful year. Hi, this is Roque Vela Jr., owner, operator of Pla-Mor Family Entertainment. And on behalf of my family and Pla-Mor Family Entertainment staff, I'd like to wish every student athlete a safe and successful year.
StatER does its testing and evaluations quickly without the delays of a traditional emergency room. We utilize the full services of a standard ER department, including CT scan, bedside emergency ultrasound, x-rays, and a full clinical laboratory, with a focus on getting you taken care of without long wait times. Stat Emergency Center is here to offer emergency services any day of the week and around the clock. Get the care you deserve. Get treated, not seated.
And we're back live, realsportslive.com, Real Sports Live Southwest, as we are live from Pla-Mor Family Entertainment Center. I think the cameras is getting, there you go. Now we're on focus. It's because that high def back behind us kind of does a number to the camera that's in front of us. We have Coach Sergio Salinas of the Laredo Alexander Bulldogs. Coach, congratulations on a great win. We actually had it live on our YouTube channel, and it was a good 40-28 victory for Alexander, moving on to round 2. Good afternoon, Coach.
Thank you. You know, I think our boys did a tremendous job this past Saturday. You know, they were obviously ready to go out there and play. You know, I think they got hit with a little bit of adversity that first half. I thought we finished the first half, you know, not in the best of positions, but you know they were able to come back the second half and you know play a great second half.
Yeah, and it you know we've seen you the whole season, Coach. We've seen you all season long, and we followed you guys. You guys have been up and down as far as in games sometimes. Sometimes you're a first half team. Sometimes you come out and you get it done in the second half. But you played also a great non-district season, a non-district season where you played some pretty tough teams to get ready for, you know, the district season.
Well, you know, I think you have to. You know, I think pre-district is really an opportunity to help your team get better. Record really doesn't matter. Obviously, you want to win every game you're going to play.
Yeah.
You know, but you want to schedule opponents that are going to challenge you. They're going to put you in situations that you might be in later on in the season. You know, I think our pre-district schedule, you know, with Alice, Westico East, and Roosevelt, you know, helped our boys prepare for the challenges that come during the district season.
Exactly, and then of course you are setting up for a meeting in Roma, Texas, at Gladiator Stadium against Edinburgh Vela, a formidable team, a team that has beaten everybody in the valley. They also you have some tape on them because they did play United. You guys had a great game against United. It was yes, it was a 37-0 district championship, but it's just one of those things, Coach. It came down to they were ready, I guess, for that game, and you guys came out flat, if I'm not mistaken, from the.
It's like I told our players, you know, I mean, sometimes there's going to be games like that. You're going to get punched in the mouth, and if you don't respond, hey, that's what can happen. You know, you see a 37-0 game. You know, I think we played a team that was upset of what happened the year before.
Yeah.
You know, which was kind of like deja vu, because back in, I think it was 2010, around that time, you know, the time United didn't make the playoffs, that got kicked off by Alexander. You know, the following year was 45-0 at the half. You know, it's something about, you know, teams that have that
that taste,
pissed off attitude in,
exactly.
in their minds. You know, when they go out there and they play, you know, I mean, their hearts stop. And obviously United, you know, last week they came out. You know, they had a little chip on their shoulder, and it showed.
Yeah.
You know, but I like how our boys responded to that. You know, they didn't just tuck their tails in and say, you know what, season's over. You know, they were able to bounce back and, you know, play a great game this past Saturday against McAllen Memorial.
Yeah, McAllen Memorial did a great job. Of course, Steeps, that workhorse for them, he had over 150 yards in that first half. But your D-line managed to do the job in that second half and not giving those big plays, because he did have big plays in that first half. He had, I think, 2 runs of over 20, and then he had 2 runs over 40. But after that, your D-line and your linebackers did a job in shooting gaps, and your defensive coordinator also came up as far as making sure that they put pressure. Now, the other big thing is in that second half, you also had some turnovers. In the first half, I believe you guys had the 3-1 advantage or something like that, and then they actually you guys came back and got those 2 turnovers to make it 3-3.
Yes, you know, that first half, obviously we had some turnovers. You know, the first big one, you know, we're about to go score, and you know the ball pops out right as we're going into the end zone and ends up being a touchback. But you know, as the offense was coming out, you gotta let them know, hey, you know, you just drove it right down the field.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Don't be coming off with a look like, you know, here we go.
Exactly.
You know, hey, you saw what you just did. Now we got to get back on the field and continue to do that, because you can.
Yeah.
You know, and I think our offense responded real well. You know, we had 2 turnovers there right before the half. You know, that very last one it's just like a punt. You know, we had to go deep. We had to take a shot. You know, that you got really nothing to lose.
Yeah.
The turnover right before that to set them for a score, you know, that was a little different.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to do that. But you know, we were able to stay with it, and second half, you know, our defense came up with some big turnovers. You know, they were able to get that ball out and kind of turn the game around, especially, you know, that one fumble where we caused, and we come back in one play and are able to score. You know, that brings a lot of momentum to your team, and really all momentum is just an attitude.
Exactly.
You know, everybody talks about momentum. You know, you want to get momentum, but really all that is an attitude.
Yeah.
You know, when good things are happening, it's easy to have a good attitude, you know, and that's why things just start trickling on and good things seem to happen. Because when you have a great attitude, good things will happen.
Exactly.
You know, when you lose momentum, now the attitude changes. And that's when bad things can start occurring.
Exactly. Coach, what is it about the quarterback situation? You guys have a very competitive 2 in Matt Connor and Junior Rodriguez. Matt came out in that first half, and then Junior came in and did his job. And the other thing is you have a slew of receivers in Alex Maldonado and Alex Ali and Diaz, Jeremiah Diaz, and then of course your go-to guy who did not play the first half, but then came up in the second half and had that big touchdown to kind of push the. I think he made it 28 to 20 something in that. But he's a threat when he's on the field, but not having him on there. But going back to that first question with Matt and Junior, what is it about these 2 competitors and that you love about them, and they know the role? If one doesn't have it, then they know that the other one's gonna.
And I think that's the beauty of our team, and the beauty of these, you know, the character of these young men is that, you know, no matter who's in there, you know, the other quarterback is very supportive on the person that's playing. You know, I think at no point has anybody been pouting on the sideline. You know, Junior set out a lot of the beginning of the season where he didn't get to play. You know, Matt was doing a great job, and you know, Junior was his biggest supporter. You know, and you know, then Matt got injured. Junior stepped in there, and you know, obviously he brings just that competitive spirit of, you know, he's going to try to make plays. You know, you see that first fumble, and you see him stick the ball out to try to go score in, but you know, and you tell him, hey, keep the ball in tight. But I think the same thing that makes him such a great player, that competitive drive, is also the same thing that kind of sometimes, you know, creates things like that. But you know, you can't hold him back.
No,
you got to tell him, hey, you be yourself, man. You got to be a player out there.
Exactly.
And, you know, and I think he did a great job, no matter where he was at. You know, he had to play some receiver that first half because Albert Lauled had gotten ejected the game before, so he wasn't going to play the first half. And then Alex Ali had the flu, so he didn't play last week.
Yeah.
So we were down two starting receivers. Junior, hey, you have to go to one. He's like, whatever, man.
Yeah.
He had some big catches. He had some
he
first
did.
down catches, and but that's the type of kid he is. He just wants to be on the field and wants to play. He's gonna give it everything he's got. He loves to win. He's a competitor.
Coach, the other big thing that I saw during the season is going back to the next man mentality, because at one point Camilo Peraza was injured for the most part. So, and you had a trio of running backs in Ferguson and number 45.
Milkosh.
Yeah. And then you had Canales too. So I mean, you have a team that they don't mind. The kids don't mind if they're behind somebody, because they know that at any time they have to be ready to come in and do their job.
And to me, that's the biggest thing, And I always tell people it's easy to be fired up. It's easy to go to practice and practice hard when you're guaranteed something. You're going to be the man playing.
Yeah.
It's tough when you're not the starter. When you're the backup guy, being able to go to practice and doing the exact same job that the starter has to do without knowing, if you're going to get to play or not.
Yeah. If you're going to be on the field.
That's the beauty of football, because life's no different. In life, you got to bust your butt, and you don't know whether something's going to be guaranteed.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's easy to say, hey, this I'm going to go for this job interview. Now let's prepare. Now I'm going to get ready. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
You should always be prepared.
Yeah. You got to be like that in a daily basis. Because by the time that job opens up, that opportunity opens up for you, what you've done in the past and how you've lived every single day, that's what's going to get you there.
Exactly.
Because that's what people are going to know. They're not going to say, well, now look. Job interview every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Every day. What are you doing every day? Because that's what's going to get you.
Exactly. And right now we're putting up some, as we talk, and we're putting up some highlights of that game just this past Saturday against. That was that touchdown that I was talking about. You guys went up 33-21, and then your D line here comes up with a big stop, if I'm not mistaken here, as Steeps was bringing it to the near side. No, actually, this is the one where he takes it, on a big run.
Yes.
But in the second half, he didn't have that many big runs as in the first half.
Yes.
In that second half is.
Well, Spates is a great kid. He's a good athlete, and sometimes he's gonna break one. And our guys got to understand, hey, one play's not gonna make you or break you. You got to be able to bounce back. You got to be able to play the next play. That's the most important play. You can't be falling back to what just happened.
Yeah, what just happened.
What are you going to do now?
Exactly. What's going to happen now? As we had this game, we had Rudy Gonzalez, one of our special guests that did the game with us, and we had Jason Mack over to our left doing his Laredo Morning Times.
Yes.
And this is one of the catches, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think. Yep. That was a big play for you guys, because they had just finished scoring 28-33, and then you guys go right back down the field, and you guys.
It's how you're going to respond.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm real proud of how some of these kids stepped up. You saw number 6 right now make that catch. That's one of our sophomore receivers who, again, had to play the role of a backup early in the season. And then this game, probably the most important game of the season now. Hey, you're starting, man.
Exactly.
Hey, this is your time to shine. And he ended up having about 140 yards receiving.
There you go.
A couple touchdowns there, and that just says a lot about these kids, and being ready for these moments.
Coach, just a quick, just quickly as we see that one, that was another big catch. I believe it was a third down on that on that play. Coach Christian Garcia.
Yes.
He's an Eagle Pass alum. Coach Olivas, his nephew. What does he bring to the table, coaching your coaching staff? And because you brought him from United South, he was over there at United South with you. But what does he bring to the table? Of course, he's enthusiastic. He's young. That's a big run by Junior. But what does he bring to the table, Coach? As a coach,
I think he's a real bright young man. you know, when we brought him into United South last year, you know, just his knowledge of the game, you know, it's real impressive. You know, I mean, obviously he played at the college level, and he played every position from tackle to guard to center. And you know, when you play the offensive line, especially every position in the offensive line, you better know, you know, what the fronts are.
Exactly.
You better know what defenses like to do. You know, and you know, I think that's the thing that he brings most to the table. You know, and then the care for the kids.
Yeah.
You know, he really has a great care for his kids. You know, if you ask any of our offensive linemen, you know, they'll tell you the same. You know, they know that Coach Garcia truly cares about them.
Yeah.
You know, it's
right
not
here,
just about football.
big stop here. And after you go down and score, Junior scores that 4-yard touchdown to the corner, and then you guys come back and you stop the drive. I think they went 3 and out in that one. They needed a first down to kind of continue, but the momentum, kind of, like you said, the momentum kind of went your way in that second half. And right here, as his hit, you didn't see too many of that as far as the because they were. It's a read option, and for the most part with McAllen Memorial, but you did have some quarterback pressures from the D line, and again gap assignments that they did take care of.
And I think that's one of the things that, you know, McAllen Memorial. If you think of McAllen Memorial, what do you think of? They're gonna pound the rock. You know, they're gonna run the ball. You know, and if you can start getting them into situations where they need to do something that they don't like to do, then that's your advantage now.
Exactly.
You know, and I think when we went up 2 scores there in the fourth quarter, now we put them in a position where, hey, you know, you can't just run the ball anymore.
No, you can't. You got to start throwing. Yeah, you got to start flinging it.
Now, to me, that gives us an advantage. You know, we're able to put pressure on the quarterback, get some big sacks there at the end of the game. You know, but I mean, it's just like anybody else. You know, I mean, I was a defensive coordinator for 9 years, and you know, when you're preparing for teams, it's like, all right, you know, as you prepare for this team, we're not going to let this team beat us like they beat everybody else.
Exactly.
You know, if they're going to beat us, they better be ready to beat us doing something different.
So
we're going to take away what they like to do.
So that's the game plan for Vela. You know, Vela likes to do a lot of the.
Well, see, Vela does all kinds of stuff. You know, I mean, obviously, Coach Vandermeer, the offensive coordinator over there, you know, he was my offensive coordinator at South for a year. And, you know, real bright man. You know, he does a great job. You know, he does a great job of, you know, understanding what you're taking away and what you're giving up.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously going in there, you know, we can't make it a pretty picture for him.
No, we can't.
The quarterback, we understand the quarterback has a lot of decision making to do in his offense.
Okay.
You know, the quarterback, you know, he's pretty much the play caller in the team a lot of the times.
Yeah.
You know, especially with RPOs and stuff like that. So, you know, you can't give him a pretty picture. You got to let that young quarterback have to make decisions in the split of a second.
Now, Coach, you run a different offense than most of the offenses. You do run a spread offense, but you don't run a high tempo or fast tempo offense. You normally get the assignment, or you put in the play, and then you kind of look at what the alignment is on the defense, and then they all turn around and look at the offensive coordinator. Okay, what are we going to do now? But does that hinder you, or is that something where the sense of urgency when you get into the situations where you do have to go into a 2-minute offense or anything like that? Of course, the practice time is going to be there.
And you got to have the ability to run at a 2-minute tempo at any time. You know, and that's something, you know, against McAllen Memorial, we want to go a little faster than usual. Sometimes we would signal in with numbers. And it would take us a little longer. Obviously, we this past game we signaled in a little more from the sideline without having them to have to look at numbers and stuff like that. You know, but I think you have to have the ability to run a 2-minute tempo. You know, and I think a formula for success is if you can put teams on their heels and be physical doing it. You know, and you know it's going to be, you know, you're going to have an advantage.
Yeah, you are going to have an advantage.
It's tough when people go fast and they're hitting you in the mouth, you know, and then at the same time, you know, you got to cover deep because at any point you can take a shot.
You can take a shot, yeah.
That's difficult. But, you know, going back to your question, does it hinder you or does it help you? I think it can do both.
It can do both.
It can just really. I think a lot of it just really depends on the execution. You know, how you execute it.
Congratulations again on your first year here at Alexandria. Of course, you're coming in from South. but making that transition from going from one program to another and getting the kids to buy into your philosophy, because again, every coach is different. Every coach is different on how they bring it. But being successful, going 7-2 overall, and 5-1 in district play, is you only lost to United in that phenomenal district. Well, again, it's one of those things where, the score didn't indicate how good the game was, but as you move forward, Coach, and what is it about this class of seniors that you have there, and how they bought into you so quickly?
Well, I think kids are kids. No matter where you're at. I've been at 3 different places. I've been at United, I've been at United South, I've been now at Alexander, and I think kids are kids. They all want the same thing. And getting them to buy into doing things a certain way. Not just because it's going to make you a better football player, but because it's going to give you a chance. When football's over. I think that's the biggest thing.
There you go.
I think our kids ended up doing a great job buying into that. But you got to preach it. You got to preach it every single day. And eventually they're gonna buy in, because when they start seeing some of the results that it starts bringing. I'm not just talking about the success on the field.
No. Off the field.
Yeah.
In the classroom.
Yes, but it's amazing when you do things a certain way. When you're making good decisions, all of a sudden everything around you starts working out. And good things start happening. When you're making bad decisions, that starts piling up too. All of a sudden, this goes wrong and that goes wrong. And before you know it, you're in a deep hole and you don't even know how you got there.
Exactly.
When all you really have to do is fix yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Too many times we try to put the responsibility on somebody else. My life ain't good because of this or because of that. And they want to find everybody else to blame, when at the end of the day, it's on you.
Yeah.
You decide what kind of life you want to have by the decisions you make every single day.
Talking and going forward with what I just finished telling you about your seniors, a big defensive senior that you have is Donnie Etheridge.
Oh, great kid.
and the type of work ethic that he has, and the type of kid he is, and to come up big. He came up big in this game too. Also, making big stops and getting some turnovers. But we had just finished, I think, talking about him when he made that play where he came up with that fumble. But how big is his impact on the defensive side of the ball, and what he brings to the team?
I think his biggest leadership is by his example. And I love the kid. He does a great job, not just on the football field, but the way he lives his life. I promise you, if you go to talk to any of his teachers are going to tell you the exact same thing I'm telling you. Great kid. Why can't we have more like him?
More like him,
I'm sure every teacher would probably say that to you.
Yeah.
I just recently, Jason Mack actually did a little story on him about multi-sport athlete. He's a football player, basketball player, runs track.
Yeah, exactly.
And nowadays when you don't see so much of that, everybody thinks they got to specialize.
Yeah.
This kid, he sticks to his convictions. He says, what? No, I'm going to play all these sports, and I'm going to do it. And he is, and he succeeds at every single one of them.
Yeah, he does. He's a great kid.
To me, that just it's a testament on what kind of kid he is. I was telling the newspaper, man. When my son grows up, that's somebody who I kind of want
him to imitate. And be a
don't let
model.
people tell you can only play this or you can't play that. You want to do something, hey, you go do it. Because I promise you, there's probably a lot of times that whether it's friends, whether it's outside people, they probably told Donnie, hey Donnie, you're not, if you go to basketball, you're gonna lose your spot over here.
Yeah.
Or, hey, if you play football, you're not gonna be starting over here.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of talk. Whether the friends, the outside people, I'm sure that's in their heads. But
yeah.
This kid says, you know what?
I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it. And when he's with us in football, man, he's all in.
He's all in.
When he's in basketball, he's all in. When he's in track, he's all in.
Yeah.
And I love that about that kid. And I think it's a great example to other kids who want to play more than one sport, but the outside noise tells them, no, hey, you got to play.
And in this day and age where a lot of coaches say, no, let's specialize in football so we can get you recruited, and specialize in basketball, specialize in baseball or track. But a lot of these recruiters and a lot of people need to understand, a lot of these recruiters are now looking at kids that do multi-sport athletes, because not only do you do it in the classroom and have a good GPA, but you have to have the intangibles of
you want to get recruited?
Yeah.
You want to get recruited, have a high GPA.
Yeah.
Have a high GPA. Get yourself a scholarship academically.
Yeah.
You know, you want to go play, get your scholarship academically, and then you can walk on anywhere.
There you go.
You know, you don't have to be in the mercy of universities. Hey, only if they pay me can I go play.
Yeah.
Shit, you get a high enough GPA, you can go anywhere you want.
There you go.
You know, you go to any school you want, you can walk on if they don't. And now you got a chance to go wherever you want to play.
Exactly.
And if you have that attitude, you're going to have a chance.
There you go. That's why I love Coach. You're so passionate about what you do. Every time I talk to you, you have this passion about football. And not only football, but you also have the passion of your kids and then the education part of it. And the fact of the matter that you have to be, when you're a student athlete, you're a student first, and then you're an athlete. But I love, every time I talk to you, I have to bring my A game talking to you because because you have so much energy and so much, even before the games. I have to make sure I get you at the right time, because if not, you're already in game mode. And again, congratulations on a great season. Moving forward, we're working on getting you guys on our as far as stream that game in Roma. So we talked earlier to Bobby Cruz, and it looks like we're going to make it happen. So make sure, guys, it's going to be in Roma, Texas. It's going to be against Edinburgh Vela.
Yes.
It's on Friday.
Friday at 4 o'clock.
At 4 o'clock. So make sure you make the drive. If you can't make the drive, well, guess what? Come by Pla-Mor Family Entertainment Center. They're going to have it on one of these big screen TVs. This is a high-def TV behind us. And
nice TV.
yeah, it's pretty nice. These were actually, Roque Vela was telling us, this is old lane, like bowling alley lanes.
Oh, really?
So he made them into these tables where you can just come and stand here and watch a game and have friends all around. It's like being at a house party, so to speak.
It's a very nice place.
Yeah, he had the Jett. Of course, he has Jett Bowl down on McPherson, Jett Bowl North, and so he had to go take care of some other business. But we want to thank Roque Vela and the Vela family for allowing us to bring you the 2018 Texas High School Football Playoff Edition of Gridiron Talk. As we're going to try and do this next year, Coach, as far as give you a weekly show and the coaches from here. So I got to introduce myself to you guys now as more of a formal type of thing, because I know out in the field it's different, but we're gonna try and make sure that we give the fans and the students the notoriety, and of course it's about the students.
And I think that's a great thing, especially for like a lot of the alumni. A lot of the alumni that go off to college, and you know, because those are the ones that really have that. You know,
that passion
for their school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that have been there, that have played for those schools. And you know, I mean, I remember graduating and I wanted to make every single game.
Every single game
when you come back, and it's like, man, I want to be there. And if you're off in college, sometimes you can't come back.
No, you can't.
When you can see it online, you know, I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, it is. And I want to thank you and all the rest of the coaches for being so supportive, because I know that a lot of coaches, you know, I kind of leery about that kind of stuff and saying, you know what, I don't want to have too much of my film out there but it goes back to execution, Coach. I think we talked earlier.
At the end of the day, it's about you.
Yeah.
You know, too many times want to focus about everybody else and, you know, the team you're playing. But at the end of the day, it's about you.
Yeah.
You know, how you execute. You know, you focus on you getting better. You know, good things are going to happen.
There you go.
I mean, very rarely have we gone back after a game and say, hey, this team did this and stopped us. A lot of times you go back and look at the film and look, if we don't mess up here, if we do our job here, you know, this play works.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so I think at the end of the day, it's about you and what you do.
Yeah. So with that, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to finish up. But thank you, Coach Salinas. And again, congratulations on your first year here at Alexander. Hoping for another successful season next year and, of course, the years to come. And good luck this Friday night. I'm actually going to be in San Antonio at UAW taking care of the Eagles Hannah game, the Brownsville Hannah versus Eagle Pass Eagles. And then we're going to have Evie Vasquez, I believe, covering y'all's game in Roma. And then we're also looking at Raymondville and Navarro.
We're all rooting for 29-6A, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, once you get into the playoffs, you're rooting for your district.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You hope that all teams in your district go as far as they can.
We also talked to Coach Koss. Coach Koss couldn't be here, but he said that he wanted to be here, but he had some family matters that he had to take care of. Of course, he's up in Round Rock. Congratulations on a great season over at United South, making the playoffs, losing 25-17. That we also had that game on the PSJA ISD.
I got to see some of that game because of you guys. And I mean, you're rooting for your teams.
Exactly.
Man. You're rooting for your teams, and had a chance there at the end.
Had a chance at the end.
And you become a big cheerleader for them.
Yeah. I know Efrain Hernandez, a big part of their offense with Vela. Vela actually moved from running back to receiver this year. So, again, it's just one of those things where they had some pieces that got moved, and their running back, Benavides, was an exceptional kid this year, shouldering the load. But he had a chance at the end. I believe it was like the last play. I think they had like 6 or 8 seconds left. Or so. He threw it into the end zone into triple coverage, and the kid from the Raiders picked it off, and that was the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean that you gotta give yourself a chance to win. And I mean that's how it is.
Yeah, and he did speak to that. He goes, we were in so many games this year that it was a play here, it was a play there, lost by 3, lost by 7, lost by a touchdown, and this and that. So overall, he said, I see it was a success as far as the first year, but it's good stepping stones for the following year because, again, Benavides is coming back.
No doubt.
So they got some key guys coming back next year, and we're hoping that again, District 29 6A moves on to the third round, and we're talking again next week after Thanksgiving. Happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Appreciate that.
We're gonna come back because then we got to be out. We got to be out of here. But thank you, Coach. We'll be back with more. You're watching 2018 Texas High School Football Playoff Edition. Gridiron Talk. Freddie Dea, RealSportsLive.com, Real Sports Live Southwest.
First Community Bank, our bankers put you first.
Like Flora in McAllen, Ricky in Harlingen, and Phil in San Benito.
Make FCB your bank.
And discover first-class service on a first-name basis.
First Community Bank.
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close. Of wanting to
making history. This close to changing the world.
We are this close.
This close. This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
ever again.
This close. We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio. All we need is you.
This close. If we donate now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
Before you have time to worry, we'll get you taken care of fast and easy. Now you can get back to your day with a healthy smile.
And we're back finally for the final thoughts of this 2018 playoff edition of Gridiron Talk. Coach Sanchez, Coach Salinas, as they move ahead to the second round. Final thoughts for you, Coach Sanchez, as far as your matchup against Weslaco.
Well, I think it's going to be a real interesting ball game. They bring, good offense, good defense, good program. They've been very successful there, and obviously we do also. Just excited about what's going on with our program and our kids, and the effort and dedication and hard work that they put in this year. More than anything, we're hoping that the unity of the team, the camaraderie between each other, and just the things that they've been able to do this year. We're hoping it continues to put us over the edge, and we can come out with a victory Friday.
And just a look, I know you guys don't like to look ahead, but if you do get the win, you play the winner of Lake Travis, and I believe it's
Reagan.
Reagan, yes. Yeah. So that's the matchup after the fact. Last thoughts, Coach, for you, Coach Salinas, in your matchup against Edinburgh Vela.
You know, I think Vela's a great team. You know, obviously, you know, you don't go undefeated without being a great team. You know, like I told our players, you know, they're going to come in confident just because they beat everybody they played. But you got to go out there and let them know that you're not the same as every other team they've played. You know, that's why you play the game. You got to go out there and see who's better that night.
There you go.
You know, and I think our boys are up for that challenge, and they're ready. You know, you know, it gives you a great opportunity when you're playing what's supposed to be the best team in the Valley. You know, hey, that gives you the great opportunity to go over there and make some noise.
Exactly. So their game's at Roma at 4 o'clock on Friday. They're at Ferris Stadium in San Antonio, Texas, against Weslaco at 3 o'clock. And then I'll be in UIW, Incarnate Word, at Tom Benson Stadium as the Eagle Pass Eagles take on the Brownsville Hanna Eagles. And that's a 3 o'clock start also. So your game will probably be carried by Weslaco ISD. We're going to try and see if we can get the rights, but if not, Weslaco is probably going to take care of that game for us. And for you guys, we're going to take care of RealSportsLive.com, Real Sports Live Southwest. We'll be taking care of your Vela in Roma. And then, of course, we'll be in San Antonio taking care of. So you can watch those games on the different platforms. Thank you once again for Roque Vela for inviting us to this beautiful facility right off of Luke Tony, the Pla-Mor Family Entertainment Center, for Bobby Cruz, for David Charles, Laredo Martin, a great season. Also, we want to thank Ms. Barrera, who could not be here with us, Coach Cos, for Coach Sanchez, for Coach Salinas. I'm Freddie Dea. And again, thank you very much for joining us on RealSportsLive.com, Real Sports Live Southwest. Till next time, keep talking sports.